Donald Trump's White House press secretary, Karoline Leavitt, gleeful, visibly overjoyed at Donald Trump's latest authoritarian insanity, directing the FBI and the DOJ to go after James Comey, former FBI director, to go after John Brennan, former CIA director. The regime is in total freefall. Here is Karoline Leavitt speaking to Jesse Waters on Fox News, and she is celebrating these authoritarian criminal investigations. It's like it's Christmas morning and she's got her biggest cross on and she's ready for the gifts from Santa. Here she is talking about how great this is. We're finally going to get transparency and justice and accountability.
There's obviously something to that. We just heard, Caroline, I don't know if you saw the top of the show. It looks like there has been an investigation opened up into James Comey and John Brennan, possibly lying to Congress in a conspiracy over the Russia hoax. What can you tell us about that?
Well, I just heard that news at the top of your show, and I'm glad to hear it because both of these disgraceful individuals turned against our Constitution and our country, and I'm sure they did, in fact, lie to Congress, and it's up to the Department of Justice to investigate that and to prosecute them if they did. And what we have seen is corruption at the highest levels against President Trump. The deep state threw everything at him to prevent him from coming back to this big, beautiful White House behind me, and he prevailed, and the truth must come out, and this administration is totally committed to transparency and to justice and to accountability. And we must have a rule of law in this country. We can't be a nation without law and order. That's what the president believes in. And I'm glad to see the Department of Justice is opening up this investigation.
That's right. The people who don't want to answer a single question about why are Trump's hands so bruised and swollen? Is he getting IV medication for anything? They don't want to answer even that. But they are committed to transparency by weaponizing the DOJ and the FBI against their perceived political enemies. The people who haven't released a real economic report in weeks and who ran on draining the swamp, who end up filling government with their cronies and family friends, now are telling us the investigation into James Comey and John Brennan is going to give us truth and it's going to give us accountability. Give me a break. And so one of the things I think is important to do, and we'll talk to Mark Elias about this a little bit later, is we need to clarify that this is Trump using the federal government to fight vendettas against his political enemies or to air vendettas, to prosecute vendettas. These are criminal probes into the same two people who helped investigate Russian interference in 2016. The interference that every American intelligence agency confirmed did happen, even if Mueller couldn't charge a criminal conspiracy, which he couldn't. Comey led the FBI Trump-Russia investigation. Brennan ran the CIA when the U.S. concluded Russia interfered to help Trump. Trump has raged about these men for years, and now he's back in power. And so the DOJ is his tool. It's a toolbox of political payback. Karoline Leavitt's not denying it. She's celebrating it. Trump has claimed for years Biden's weaponizing the DOJ. What Trump meant was, if I were in Biden's position, I sure as hell would be weaponizing the DOJ. And now Trump is doing what he falsely accused Biden of doing, launching DOJ investigations into people he didn't like, people who hurt his feelings, people who he blames for exposing what happened in 2016. And so this is much closer to dictatorship than it is to law and order. And the really scary part is this is not some rogue faction in the government doing this behind closed doors. They've decided they're just, this is the government. Coming from the top, Karoline Leavitt, the official voice from the Trump White House, celebrating it. She's giddy. She even said, I'm sure they did commit crimes. What? That's not due process. A statement from the official White House press secretary that individuals who have not even been charged with a crime definitely committed crimes. It's not oversight. It's not justice. The only word we can really assign to this is that this is an attempt at revenge. We don't know how far this is going to go. And so we're going to do everything to continue supporting the movement for democracy, due process, and law and order. They don't really support that. They pay lip service to it, but they don't. And so I invite you to join us on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. Join us on our Substack newsletter, substack.davidpakman.com. You know, for weeks now, discussions have focused on Trump's big, beautiful bill and its potential Medicaid cuts. However, a far more dangerous, overlooked provision in the bill exists. At ground.news/Pakman, you'll discover what MAGA lawmakers quietly included, a provision that could block federal judges from enforcing court orders unless a bond is posted. And if this passes, it could render Trump above the law. This is a critical detail. It's largely unknown, and it really exemplifies this flood the zone strategy of the Trump administration. Now, this is why ground news is essential. It really is the best way to uncover buried information by showing you not just the story, but its origins across the political spectrum. You can see bias ratings, credibility scores, coverage timelines, and their browser extension also will flag potential bias when you're on a news site, sort of guiding you to more reliable sources for fact checking. Ground News gives you a smarter and more reliable way to stay informed. I'm partnering with them to give you 40% off their unlimited Vantage plan, which makes it just $5 a month. Visit ground.news/Pakman, scan the QR code, or use the code Pakman in the app to start. The link is in the description.